Hi, I'm Sarah, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my first week of Me Made May. Me Made May is a challenge that was set up by a blogger called Zoe from Sozo blog. She said she accidentally set it up 15 years ago. This is a personal challenge, and the idea is that you're encouraged to improve your relationship with your Me Made wardrobe. That includes current and future. So to get involved, really, all you need to do is think about how you look at your clothes at the moment. You can make your challenge whatever you want it to be. For me personally, I have made a decision to document what I wear every day and to share that photo in an Instagram story. Then at the end of each week, I'll be putting a post on Instagram that shares all the outfits of the week. And then I thought I would add to that by talking through my outfits here on YouTube and how I feel that they worked and anything else that I've noticed that might be missing or that I've wished I had to complement these clothes that I have in my wardrobe. So let's start with day one. Now, we've been really lucky in Melbourne. So far this May, the weather has been absolutely beautiful. It has been fine every day. Most days have ended with beautiful sunshine. The mornings have been cold. It's just perfect autumn weather. So I've been considering each day what is going to work for that day in terms of what sort of activities I'll be getting up to. So my job, for those of you who don't know, I'm a music teacher. I teach full-time in a school. So my days often start with before school rehearsals. They're not usually finishing too late these days. My after school activities, I don't have too many of them, but I need things that I can be physical in. We do some dancing. There's lots of classes that I'm sitting on the floor. Every day is a little bit different. So let's look at day one. So the first day of May, I didn't have any very young students, so I knew I wouldn't be sitting on the floor on this day, so I was able to wear my beautiful clo bias skirt that I made in a viscose by Lady McElroy. It's the most beautiful print and it's got these gorgeous colors in it. When I bought this fabric, I wanted it to be something that I could wear all year. So I wanted it to be something that I could pair with tights and boots and woolen tops, but also I could wear with t-shirts in the warmer months. And that's working really well for me. So I was able to pair this last week with a Novice sweater, the Mohair edition. This is one of the very first jumpers I ever knit, and it is a pattern by Petite Knit. And it's knit the whole thing in 2 strands of mohair on very small needles. So it was a really time-consuming project, but I really love the final result. I think these two go really nicely together. And then with this, I had on, I think, some leggings and just some flat shoes on this day because, as I said, the weather was quite lovely and warm. So this worked really well, very happy with it. Underneath, I also had a Me Made t-shirt. I was pretty confident that I wouldn't be removing the jumper during the day, but I did want to have something on underneath that if I did want to, then I could. It's not unusual for rooms to get quite warm at work, depending on where the sun's coming in the room or depending on the level of heat that the person before me in a classroom might have had on. So I do need to think about that kind of thing when I'm getting dressed, but I'm pretty sure on this day, I just kept this whole outfit on as it is. And I love it. So this is definitely one that I'll continue to wear. I think looking at the skirt, I would love to make maybe another jumper at some point that uses another color in the print because, yeah, it's a beautiful skirt and one that I'd love to pair with more tops. At the moment, this is probably the one that I feel works best and maybe even the only one that I really feel like works well for the winter. So in order to get more wear out of this, I'd like to keep that in mind next time I am thinking about knitting a solid color jumper. Day 2. Now this is an early start for me. I start with a year 5 and 6 choir at 7:30 in the morning and the forecast again was for a beautiful day, but it started off very cold. I also knew I would be teaching young students. I knew I'd be sitting on the floor on this day, so I wanted to choose an outfit that would work well for that. So on day 2, I wore Pomona Pants in a black linen with an Anthea Blouse, also a lightweight linen in this blouse. And to keep me warm in the morning and actually throughout the day, I had on a holiday slipover. This is also a Petite Knit pattern. It's quite a physical day for me, a Thursday, because I am conducting a choir and teaching younger students, so there's a little bit more physical activity, and this outfit worked really well. The main thing I wasn't sure about with this pattern was whether I should have the blouse showing underneath the vest or whether I should tuck it in. I think I might have sort of done a bit of both throughout the day. But yeah, another fun outfit. I love this blouse. I love the design. The fabric design is by an artist called Gabrielle Larios. This was a fabric I bought from Nerida Hansen a few years ago, and I think it works really, really nicely with the Anthea blouse, and it's kind of toned back a little bit with that sort of just plain vest. And yeah, another very comfortable outfit. Day 3 was another busy day. I taught students ranging from 5 years old to 18 years old on Friday. I knew this was going to be a very busy day, and again, I knew I needed to choose something that I was going to be able to remove a warm layer if I got warm later, and I definitely did. This has probably been my most worn combination of items or types of items over the last 2 years, if I look at my me-made pictures from the last couple of Mays. So that is a combination of a York Pinafore by Helen's Closet over some kind of fitted top. And in this case, I wore the Agnes top by Tilly and the Buttons. When I've made Agnes tops, I've generally made the ones that have the ruching on the sleeves. I think what I really like about it is that shape that it provides. I like then with the York Pinafore, which comes in at the waist and then goes out a bit, it kind of creates that hourglass figure because the shoulders are sort of widened and then you come in at the waist and then it goes out again. So I really like the silhouette that these two pieces create together, and very, very comfortable to wear. The York Pinafore, I've made 3 of them and they get so much wear. So comfortable, so practical, big, nice pockets at the front. And yeah, my 2 that I've got that are plain, so I've made 2 corduroy ones, a black one and a blue one. They are on constant rotation in my winter wardrobe. And then I wear them with a cardigan as well. Because of the shape of them, I feel like it would be a little bit too much volume to try and put a jumper over the top of the York Pinafore. So I've got a couple of cardigans that I like to wear with them. And on this day, I wore a kind of a teal coloured cardigan. And this was the Novice cardigan, again, a petite knit pattern. And yeah, I get a lot of wear out of this one. It gets thrown on a lot. I love the colour. And yeah, I think it works really nicely. Day 4, we were now on to the weekend. On Saturday, I had a pretty quiet day, mainly around the house. And I also drove my children to their guitar lesson. Very casual. So I had on my go-to casual outfit for now, which is the Chanterelle Pants by So Liberated, made in a black French terry, and a Helen's Closet Jackson pullover in a lilac French terry. So these French terry fabrics I bought from My Design. These are probably my most worn makes of the year so far, because even when I wear a different outfit to school, I'll often come home and get changed into this outfit. Just so comfortable to wear. The tracksuit pants in particular, I thought I'd like them. I hoped I'd like them. I absolutely love them. Everything about them, they're just so comfortable. They're not tight, but they don't look too baggy. They're just a really great fit. And yeah, so happy I made them and am considering making some more, maybe in another color. I don't know. Just because I get so much wear out of them. So these were perfect all day on Saturday. I also teamed it with my Shawlography shawl. Now this was a knit-along, a mystery knit-along back in 2021. Now that was the year that I started knitting, and one of my motivations to start knitting was to participate in a mystery knit-along hosted by Stephen West. And I started it, but I just couldn't keep up. It was too hard for me. Not too hard, but I was just slow. So there was no way I could keep up with the clues. And then, of course, I lost momentum and lost that motivation because it wasn't a secret anymore. And so I sort of put it aside for almost 2 years. I went back to it at the end of last year. Absolutely loved it. Really recommend this pattern. It's there are knit along videos for every single step, so very, very achievable for even if you are a beginner like I was when I started it. And yeah, I love the colors, and I loved being able to wear it with this outfit and sort of, well, number one, keep me warm, but also just make it feel a little bit more fancy when I went and left the house. Day 5 was a Sunday, again, a very casual day for me, except that I was invited to a 1-year-old birthday party in a park. It was another beautiful forecast. It was a stunning day. So I wanted to be comfortable, but I also wanted to be slightly dressed up, just a tiny bit, for a party. I feel like my sweater dresses are really good for this. So I've got 2 Billie sweater dresses by Tilly and the Buttons. One that I did the big sort of balloon sleeves and one that I just did the regular sleeves. So I wore the regular sleeves one on Sunday and it was really comfortable. So I wore this to go and watch one of my children play soccer, and I teamed it with a Musselburgh beanie for this, a Musselburgh hat, which is a pattern by Isolde Teague. And then I removed that hat because it got a bit warm when I took one of my children to the birthday party. So yeah, a really comfortable dress. It's got pockets. It's just stretchy and comfy, but still looks a little bit, yeah, it's not tracksuit, but it feels like it. So this is a really comfortable one as well. On day 6, one of my children was sick, so he stayed home, and so I stayed home to mind him. So on this day, the only physical activity I did was walking my other son to school. So I just put on exactly the same outfit as Saturday, but with a different t-shirt underneath. Not that you ever saw it, because I left my jumper on all day. So again, a very comfortable tracksuit day on Monday. Day 7, I was back to work again, and I was very excited to wear a brand new make. So while I was home looking after my sick son, I was able to get a little bit of sewing done. And I made the Tiama Skirt by Caledonia Dreamin'. I made this in a fabric by Atelier Brunette that I bought from My Design, and it's described by Atelier Brunette as velvet. It's basically just a corduroy, but with these beautiful lines. I don't really know how to describe it, but I'll put a picture in and you can see the pattern that's created within this fabric. I love it so much, and I'm really happy with the fit I got. I actually made another version as a toile back in April, but it was too big. So this version, I sized down a whole size, and I then reduced the length as well to get it to a length that I liked. And then on day 7, I wore this skirt with another petite knit pattern. It is the Sunday sweater, and it's in quite a chunky wool that I bought from Kit Couture. I really like these two together. I got pretty hot. So day 7 is a day that I start with a choir rehearsal at 7:20 in the morning. It was cold to start with, but then when I had, 100 people in the room with me, I did get quite warm. I could have taken it off, but I didn't. Underneath, I just had a plain white t-shirt. The only thing I would say about the Sunday sweater, I love the yoke detail. I absolutely love that. I love the balloon sleeves. The bottom is quite shapeless. It kind of just sort of hangs, and it's almost like an A-line, and maybe it's because I haven't blocked it properly. But yeah, I would like it to sort of come in, and it doesn't. So the way it works though is just to tuck it in. So I was able to tuck it into my skirt, and then I teamed it with just leggings and boots, and I'm really happy, with this skirt, as I said. So looking forward to things that I sort of wished I had a couple of times this week, the main thing is plain tops that work under knits. A few of my knits are quite high. I'm not super sensitive to wool or anything like that, but I do prefer having some kind of layer between a knit and my skin. I just find it more comfortable. I also have quite a few tight tops, which I'm really comfortable wearing underneath pinafores, so York pinafores and an Aura pinafore. But just with a skirt or pants, they're just too tight. I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing them, especially to work. It's just not a look that I really like. Just a bit too figure hugging. So I think it would be really handy for me to have just a couple of basic plain coloured layers that can be worn underneath my knitted tops, but also if I got too hot, I'd feel comfortable taking those knitted tops off and they would be sort of standalone tops. So that's something for me to think about. I have to decide what kind of fabric I'd like to use and what pattern. Yeah, so I'll see how I go over the next week or so and whether I think of anything. But yeah, that was my first week of Me Made May, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. And if you did, maybe I'll keep doing it. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Me Made May so far. It's day 8 today, so you might have seen this on my Instagram. I'm wearing my So Faded sweater. This is made with 5 different fingering wools that all blend in together. And it's a pattern by Andrea Mowry. I especially like this little pearled shoulder detail. Really comfortable and a nice knit, but I'll talk about that in week 2. So I hope you're all having a good week. Hope you are enjoying Me Made May if you're getting involved, and enjoying watching other people if you're not. So thank you so much for watching. If you had a favorite outfit of the week, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And yeah, I've tagged all the patterns that I've used in the description below, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.